Hi, welcome to the latest edition of AdamsonSurvival.com. Today I'm going to do the final demonstration of my reloaders using my prototypes for both of them. Also, I'm going to be giving you at first a bit of an educational lesson. I actually went out and purchased a box of 300 blackouts. I have my 223s. I also have AK-47s. Now, I have both your brass Remington 223s. I have your true ammo steel case 223s. I have your Remington 300 blackouts, and my father supplied me with the steel case AK-47s. Now, using the Harbor Freight micrometer, the brass of the 300s and the AR-15s is 3/8 inch diameter. As a matter of fact, when reloading 300s, you can create the brass by cutting down the 5.56-223 brass, and when you put it through the resizing dice, it reforms the neck to match the 300. So the brass is basically the same. The bullet length is almost exactly the same depending on the manufacturer. Here's them side by side. The 300, for these two, the 300 is a little bit shorter, but not enough to affect the reloader, or the magazine loader. As well as matching the 300 with the AK-47 round. Identical, except for the brass size. The AK-47 round brass size is a little bit larger. And according to the micrometer, excuse me, it is 0.43 inches wide, whereas the AR 5.56-223 is 0.369. Or 3/8 and 3/8 and a 16th. So this is also 55 grains of bullet. This is 120 grains, as well as I believe that AK is around the 120 grains as well. So these are the same bullet, but different brass. So I'm going to now, something I haven't done in the past is I'm going to use the mag loaders. I have, for the AR, you have your Pro Mag, you know, just your typical Pro Mag, 30 round case, and my AR GI Mag. Now these have the problem with the reloader, as well as an inherent problem with these. This follower in here, even when it's in the gun, it has a tendency of jamming because it doesn't load in level. As you can see, that it pushes down here and gets stuck. And if you want to fix that, you can purchase Pro Mag followers that won't do it. If you push down on here, you see the whole thing goes down. You can buy 3 of these followers for $5 online through Pro Mag. And once again, see the difference right there? It gets stuck. this causes jams in the mag loader as well, because the bolts will go in and then it doesn't load correctly. You have to stop, reset it. But it does work, you just have to take your time on here. So I'll demonstrate on both of these with the AR and the 300. Then with the AK-47, I have both. This supplied by my father. We have just your single magazine, both from the left and the right side. Then I have a double stack magazine that we will reload. Or speed load. Alright. So I'll take the time to get the camera set up, and then we'll see you back. Okay, welcome back. So we have, this is the AK version, and I've gotten my new routing edge on the side here as my demo. What you receive in mail will be a lot better looking than this, but you get the basic shape and design. So there's the AK, and here's my very first prototype of the AR. See, it has a little problem right here, but that's why I'm using it as my prototype, just so I can get the cuts right, whatnot. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start with the AR rounds first, and I'm going to do, I have 4 magazines. I'm going to do 10 of the 300s in both magazines first, later on, and I'll do 10 in both of the clips of the AR-15s. Now, what was I getting ready to say? So what I would like to say is, in the future, if you order one of these from me and it's the wrong caliber, like I did not send the AK-47 one to you, let me know. I will send the right one. I will do my best to do this. I'm human. We all make mistakes, and I'm sorry. Also, if you receive one of these and you are not satisfied, you can send it back and I'll give you a full refund. Okay? I promise you that. Even on the shipping costs, I'll refund shipping and everything. I take a lot of time in making each one of these. And I would like to make you happy. So if there's something that I can fix with it and send it back, please let me know and I can take care of it. I'm also looking on doing different types of personalization on here. So let me go ahead and get started. Now, with both of these, it doesn't matter whether you put the magazine and hold it against here, or you flip it over and hold it against here. I make them so that it works on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and load 10 AR-15s. Now, each one of these will hold 30 rounds plus. So we're not limited on that. I'm only going to use 10 to speed up the testing. Alright, so you see those in there, and it's not that hard to load them in, and they can fall down in here, but give it a tap, make sure that they're all seated. Put the magazine in. You see, that's the problem, they weren't all seated correctly. So if that happens, just stop, tap it, and if you hold it at a tilt, then it might work better for you. Just real quick, I'm going to do that again. Okay. I put 2 in the track at a time. And if, like I said, if you get a little mixed up, it's not that difficult. Okay. Place the magazine in, tilt it back a little bit, push them in. There we go. Loaded. Going to do the same thing with the GI mag. I say GI mag, some call it a Colt mag. And this time, I'm going to load them with the primer facing the rear, or the other side. Now I also reload my AR-15 223s, and they are a little bit shorter using the Lee 55 grain mold. They still work. So once again, I tilt it to where the primer seats on the bottom. Not a problem. Alright, so now we're going to work on the 300s. I'm going to do 10 in each magazine. Now I'm loading them in one at a time because they're in this black case. So if you just had a bucket of them out, of course you could load them in 2 at a time. But it's not that difficult. Now, I also do not be afraid to use the same AR mags. You don't have to have, so this is labeled a 5.56 magazine. 5.56 by 4.5. But it is the same brass, once again. So you can use the 5.56 magazines for the 300s. Alright, now we have a problem here with this loader because of this notch. So you see they did load in there. Had a little bit of a problem. To remedy that problem, I'm just going to run them the opposite way. If you have a problem, slow down, take your time. And I know that kind of takes the purpose out of a speed loader, but just reset it. And it's actually a quick reset. Flipping it to the other side, so this isn't a problem now. And they load right in. I've also played around with the stripper clips. Stripper clips are fun. You've got to have they use a little bit more arm power. I thought about modifying this a little bit so you can load the bullets in with a stripper clip. I'll keep you updated on that. So now I have them loaded, pushed up, in smooth, 300 blackouts. Not a problem. So this version only does the AR-15s because it has a smaller groove. So now, I'm going to use the AK-47. Same hand pusher. First, I'll do this single AK-47. Go ahead and load in 10. I'm taking my time. But as you've seen before, it doesn't take that long to load them in. Take your clip, hold them in. Now I don't have the side blocks down here to adjust it, so they all went in there. And of course it'll work from this side as well. Now you have a double mag. Well, the double mag, depending on how you created it, can only fit on here one way because you can't twist it around and do the other side. So, gonna row 10 on both sides. Now once again, I am only using 10 rounds for testing each time, but it will work. I see, I screwed up. So I just flip these around. Not that hard, not that much to do. So I hold the magazine up. And what happened, I didn't seat the bullets right. It went in. Hopefully this tin will be a lot smoother. And when if I had the guide rails on this, it would be a little bit easier. See right there, I was doing 3 bolts at a time. So I have 10 on here, 10 on here. Just make sure you make sure that they're all tapped down to the ledge. Now you saw me load the AK rounds. So here's 300 blackouts. This should work. It is untested with this configuration. I put the clip in. And yes, they load in there. Five, 5, 6. Not quite sure what's going on here. One of these bolts was having a hard time. Got it adjusted. Looks like I had a little bit of dust in there. Could have been stopping that. But as you see, they did load. I am using my prototype versions. These are not 100% finished. Each one is made individually and tested before shipped out. Well, there you have it. So this does AK-47, 223, 5.56, and 300 blackout. This does your 223, your 5.56, and 300 blackout. Does not do AK-47s. So on my Etsy shop, I'm currently selling this model for 15, this model for 10. And if you see me out in the range, I go to Wilbur Wright DNR site in Indianapolis, Indiana. Well, I guess it's Newcastle. And I'll have them out there. And you can also purchase them on my Etsy shop, Adamson Survival. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy.